Good afternoon, everybody. It's Stephen Hodson and Paul O'Flaherty from WinExtra back for the 23rd episode of Daily Brief. And yes, we weren't here yesterday, and we weren't here Monday. And on both counts, plus the really bad recording on Tuesday, is entirely my fault.
Yeah, you can forget about Tuesday's episode.
Yes, please, forget about
Tuesday's episode was unlistenable.
Yes, it was bad.
It's dire.
But hopefully we've got the technical problems all sorted out. We've got our fingers crossed, and I think Paul's even got a toe or two crossed, or something crossed. Anyway, first
I'm
up,
staying away from that one.
I hope so. I really do, because we would like to keep our family rating on this one. There's an interesting app that's come out for the Windows Phone 7. It's called Meteor, and it's a media center remote app.
Yeah, this is beautiful. I mean, you have to really watch the video on this one. You're probably seeing it now, folks. It's side by side where you've got your Windows Phone 7 and you've got your media center. And you can see just how easy it is to control your Windows Media Center while you're sitting there on the couch, chilling out, or in another room, having your Twitter party or whatever, selecting your music, putting your films on. It all happens, simultaneously. And it's a pleasure to watch, actually.
Yeah.
I love the way this thing updates.
I just, Google TV and Logitech, chew on this one, sucker. Really.
Well, you know what? I was looking at Google TV. Actually, myself and Sarah were talking about whether or not we should invest in a Google TV box. $299 for what? Nothing that you can't do if you have a media center PC hooked up.
Exactly.
The apps that you're going to see on this thing, do it on your media center. You want your Netflix, your media center. Plus, you get the benefit of BitTorrent, gaming, God knows what else. You know what? If you've got an Xbox too, you're well served.
No, I know. It's funny how everybody is ranting and raving how this is going to change television like we've never seen it before.
Look,
no,
we don't have cable. Okay, we just have the internet, media center PC, 5 or 6 laptops, God knows what else around the house, and the Xbox, and everything is shared. And everything runs either through Zoom or through, just simple file sharing. And we have everything that any one of these so-called, future of TV boxes can offer.
Another interesting use for Media Center came out yesterday, actually, which I was actually going to talk about, and that's from Mary Jo Foley. And what she's proposing is that Media Center, if it was reworked a little bit, could actually be a really good interface for the tablet.
Media Center could be a very interesting interface for a tablet, but Media Center, I feel, isn't task orientated enough.
But see, okay, hang on a second, Paul. The whole idea with like the iPad and everything else is coming out in that segment, like the iPad, the iPhone, take your pick. iTouch, they're not task oriented. Like you and I are living in a Windows world. We're used to this task oriented frame of mind.
No, the iPad is task oriented. What you're thinking about is action orientated.
Okay. Yeah.
They are task orientated in the sense that you have to specifically go in and actually, you know what? I'm getting this wrong because I said that Windows Media Center wasn't task-orientated enough. That's wrong. It's not action-orientated enough.
Okay, all right.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Because it is task-orientated in the sense that if you want to switch from movies to music, you have to scroll and you have to click. But forget Media Center. What you want is the Zune interface on a tablet.
Yeah.
The Zune software is wonderful. I
love it.
Falling more in love with it every day that I use it. For some reason, it managed to escape me since launch because I don't have a Zune. But you got me to install it probably more than a month ago. And since then, it's migrated across, started with my machine, It's migrated onto my secondary laptop. It's migrated onto Media PC everywhere. And that is just a wonderful interface. I would love to see that reworked rather than Media Center. Media Center is a bit too, well, it's media-centric.
Yeah, but isn't that what the whole idea of the tablet platform or format is supposed to be, is as a consumption?
No, that's what they want to use it as. But I want a device that I can be productive on as well. If I want to sit there and veg out and consume media, I will do it on my big screen. I will not. I don't want to sit down and watch. Maybe when I'm traveling, I'll sit down and I'll watch a film on a slate or a tablet or iPad-sized device. But then I'm carrying a secondary device because I can do that on my laptop, plus have 200 other films with me as well on the drive.
Yeah.
It all depends on your mindset. And for me, if I'm going to spend money on a tablet or a slate, I need to be productive as well.
The other day, we mentioned the fact that Morgan Stanley is giving kind of a thumbs up to the Windows Phone 7. You know, it's going to be successful because Microsoft's going to pile a whole bunch of money into it. Today, we get Gartner predicting that Windows Phone 7 will flounder.
Yeah, look, this just makes the entire conversation we just had about slates academic. All right? Because according to Gartner, it's not going to matter. Windows aren't going to be involved in it. I think it's really ridiculous. Here you have two well-established, reputable, major companies that when they put out their recommendations, everybody listens. How can they be so diametrically opposite? You have one saying that by 2012, Microsoft will reach 14, 15% market share because they're going to chuck the money on it and make it work. Yeah. Then you have Gartner, who are turning around and saying, well, you know what? They're going to go up to 5.2% by 2011, but come 2014, they'll be down to 3.9%. So it's going to be a major fail. Personally, I think whoever came out with that information at Gartner has their head up their bum, because when you get the likes of, Apple fanboy supremo, John Gruber turning around and basically giving Windows Phone 7 a great review and turning around and saying, you know what, if he had to be stuck somewhere for a month, he wants Windows Phone 7 above Android.
I know.
And he's called the Windows Phone 7 device and interface. Now, he only played on an early prototype. iPhone 4 caliber.
Yeah.
So, you know what, Gartner, I don't know who pissed you off at Microsoft. I don't know what Microsoft intern turned you down on, for sexual favors or whatever the case may be, but don't take it out by writing crap.
I know.
Analysts, a little bit. The word I'm trying to say but can't think of, like this.
Here's an interesting little bit that came out from Daily Tech. Nearly half of departing Microsoft employees don't like Ballmer. Duh.
Yeah, well, you know what? Yeah, they love the company. They don't like their boss. Well, you know what? We've been ranting for months and months and months now that we don't like how Ballmer handles things either. We don't have any personal experience with him, but his bonus was slashed because of performance in certain areas. We all know that he does the monkey dance. He talks like a hyped up coach, and he has a tendency to chuck chairs. I don't think I'd want this guy as my boss either.
No.
So his approval rating was what? Only 51%. The razor thin 51% majority approved of his performance. Yeah. Well, you know what? It happens.
It happens.
You don't like that? Move on.
Yeah. Chalking this one up into the controversy column, Microsoft wants sick PCs banned from the internet. Now, I'm still not sure how I feel about this. I personally don't think this is something that should have come out of Microsoft. But Paul over there, he is going to go and suggest they should do this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's wonderful, right? Because once Microsoft sells you a copy of Windows, you've paid the license fee. What the expect you to heck care, right? Now, Scott Charney, he's the corporate vice president for Trustworthy Computing. And basically what he suggested is he wants to do the same thing with PCs as we do in the real world when somebody is sick and infectious. If you go to school, they send your child home. If you're in hospital and you're infectious, they isolate you, etc., etc. He wants to do the same thing with PCs. Basically, if you are too dumb, fat, and lazy to be looking after the investment that you have put in your PC, to be keeping your antivirus software and your everything else up to date and keeping it patched because you have a major investment in terms of personal data on your machine, and you're too stupid to realize that by not keeping all this stuff secure, you're infecting those around you like a cancerous polyp, then you shouldn't be allowed on the internet. And, you know, maybe it's the wrong thing to be coming out of Microsoft, but I honestly have to say, as somebody who is very proactive about keeping all his machines up to date, you know what, go ahead and do it. It might wake some people up as to the value of the investment, not just the money they've spent on their machines, but also the information that is stored on them. So you know what, yeah, turf them off.
And on that note, folks, this is the 23rd episode of Daily Brews with Paul and Steve, and we're calling it an end for the day. We will see you tomorrow. Have a good one, everybody.
Have a good one, folks.